The title of the signature assignment for Math 1324 is I am buying a car. Please don't sell me a lemon. So the first thing that we're going to ask you to do is to go out and find some type of advertisement to purchase a car. Now, we're just pretending, so you don't have to actually buy a car, and you can simply do it online if you want. Just do a Google search for whatever type of car, and you're going to pretend like you're going to purchase it. We don't care about the financial terms in terms of interest rate, but we just need a price of a car that you would like to buy. Now, you will turn in a copy of the advertisement as part of your project, and so you can just open up and create a Word document, and once you find that advertisement, most computers have what's called a snipping tool. If you'll do a search on your computer, it's a little tool that'll kind of let you take just a screenshot of your little advertisement part where you can just then insert it into your Word document. So we're going to ask that you pretend like you're going to finance the car at 6%, so that is your rate, and you're going to calculate a monthly payment for 4 years. So N is your number of years. And then we're going to also have you calculate what it would be for 6 years. So we have provided you with a formula down here. And so in this particular formula, the little r is your interest rate. Remember that you need to change it into its decimal format. Since we are doing monthly payments, we've already set it up to where it's divided by 12, since they are monthly payments. The A in this particular formula is going to be the amount that you are borrowing to purchase your car. And then the N in this particular formula, that is going to be your number of payments, which we define down here as the duration of your loan in months. So, for example, when you're looking at the 4 years, because you're making monthly payments, your N would be 48. Okay, so what you're going to do is on this line here, you're going to go ahead and tell us the make, model, year, and price of your car. And then you're going to fill out the table. So in each case, you're going to tell me how much is financed, which of course it'll be the same here because it's the same car. You're just looking at a difference of years. Your rate in decimal form. So again, those two numbers in this table will be the same. The duration in months, that's going to differ because you're going to do the 4 years in this column and the 6 years in the second column. And then using the formula that we've given you here, we want to see you calculate the payments. I want you to actually write the formula out with your numbers plugged in and not just get on a calculator without writing it out first. So write it out with your numbers plugged in, then punch it out so that we can see what your monthly payment P is going to be in both cases. All right, so once you've calculated your payment, then the next thing you're going to do is look at what is the total cost of your car. So we've given you the formula to calculate that. You'll take your payment times the number of payments you're going to make. And then we want you to calculate your total interest. So once you figure out the cost of your car, you'll subtract what you originally financed so that in these boxes here, we can see exactly what your total interest is. Okay, so then on the next page of the project, we want you to research what you think your future occupation will be. Okay, and we're not going to hold you to that just right now. What are you thinking of being? And we want you to determine what is the median yearly salary. So, for example, if I had decided to be a teacher, then I'm going to go on Google. You can just go to Google and just, type in what is the median yearly salary for a teacher. Of course, that's going to vary depending on what area you are in. But, just decide on what area you'd want to live in. And we want you to put something here based on the research that you do and what you find. And then, so if that's your yearly salary, then we want you to divide it by 12 so you can tell us what your monthly gross income would be. The gross income refers to what you get paid before they start taking out things like taxes and Social Security and other things that your job might have to take out. Okay, so once you answer question 2, then number 3 says it is advisable to make sure that your monthly car payment is no more than 15% of your monthly gross income. That's typically what they look at when you go to purchase a car. So once you figure out what occupation you're wanting to do, we want you to calculate 15% of that monthly gross income. And so the way you do that is what you depend on or decide that your monthly gross income is, you're going to multiply it by the decimal 0.15. That's how you calculate 15% of a particular number. So once you look at this number, then you're going to answer the question, would it be advisable to finance the car for 4 years and have a larger payment, or would it be advisable to finance it for 6 years and have a smaller payment based on your monthly gross income? So that answer is going to vary by student because it really depends on what number you get here. If you get a number there, and we'll say that number is something where your car payment for 4 years is bigger than what you can afford, then you might end up having to say, I need to finance it for 6 years so that I actually have a smaller car payment. So you kind of have to look at what this number is, compare it to what your car payment would be for both 4 and 6 years, and then make a decision. If neither of these payments are less than 15% of your monthly gross income, then you've got to decide how you will offset the additional cost of your vehicle. So sometimes that's when people maybe take on a little side job or whatever. So you can answer that particular part on a separate sheet of paper in an essay format. Okay, so if you want to type it in that Word document that we talked about earlier, that will be perfectly fine. And so then your final task, we want a 300-word minimum essay, again, in that Word document, that addresses the following. So, A, I need you to discuss what career you chose, and I need you to do some research about the educational requirements, including what kind of degrees do you have to have? Does it take a associate's degree? Does it take a bachelor's degree? Do you need a master's degree or possibly a doctorate? What type of licensing is required? If there are any other certificates that you have. So I want you to do some research so that you kind of know, where you're headed with that particular career choice. And within that discussion, tell me the total years of education that it's going to require for you. B, I want you to describe the typical job duties that are associated with that career. So tell me, what will your job involve you doing? C, you must have transportation in order to get to your job. So use the calculations from above, discuss which car you choose, and if you should finance it for 4 years or 6 years based on your budget. So include how you will offset the additional cost if neither payment falls within your budget. Include the price, your payments, and the percent of monthly income your payment will be. So, actually take whatever your car payment is. Okay, so you would take that car payment and you would divide it by your monthly gross income. That's going to give you a decimal, and then if you move that decimal 2 places to the right, that's how you would calculate that percentage to see what percent your car payment is of your monthly gross income. D, I want you to discuss the viewpoints of financing a car for a shorter period of time and having a larger payment versus financing for a longer period of time and having a smaller payment. So I'll give you a hint. Go back to this first page and look at the total interest that you're going to pay in each particular case. Sometimes you can't help it. You may have to have the smaller car payment just to make it fit within your budget. But if you have a choice, what we're wanting you to discuss here is look at the different viewpoints of longer versus shorter in terms of time period. And then finally, close out your paper with why you chose the career that you did and how you're going to successfully obtain your goal. So we can have goals, and then we have to have plans to reach those goals. So I want you to share with me, how do you successfully think that you can reach your goal? Do not forget to cite your sources. So, when you're researching your career, if you will include a works cited or bibliography about where you got your information from, just do that at the bottom of your paper and make sure that they are credible sources. So, for example, if you go to google.com and let's just say that you looked at a website for, can't even think of something that wouldn't be credible, but let's just say it's somebody's blog. That's not as credible as if you actually went to the, say, U.S. News or, some type of well-known publisher and got your information. So we're looking for a credible source. And then also on your car payment, you can go ahead and cite that source too, and any other information that you may use in writing your final essay. So I hope this helps, and I look forward to seeing your projects very soon.